Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do another little, I suppose a little tech video or a mini tech video because I've encountered some issues with some LGB items which I wanted to just show you for your own information if you decide to go down that road. Now they're not scale, they're not, if you're a rivet counter this is not for you, okay? But I quite like the LGB 12040 switch lanterns, and so I bought a bunch of them to install on my layout, and it's a pretty good little system actually. It's quite clever, but there's some things you need to be aware of. So first and foremost, if you, depending on which side you're installing it, if it's for a left-hand turnout or a right-hand turnout, you get different pieces. So this one comes installed for a left hand, but there's also a part included with the arrow in a different direction for the left hand, or right hand I should say. All right, it also comes with 2 screws to bolt it onto the turnout motor, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. And then it also comes with these 2 little pieces. So that's a little blanking plate which goes at the side, either left or right, depends on which way you install it. And you got to be careful installing that because it's quite specific in the direction it goes in. So I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's got little grooves, and the grooves are slightly different from one side to the next, so you just need to bear that in mind. Sorry, it's not a very good picture. It does come with instructions and it shows you how to do that, okay, for left and right hand. But I mean, that's it, that's the instructions you get in obviously different languages, so it's not super comprehensive, but so you just need to be aware of what you're doing. So so I've installed one over here. I'll show you on this one, on this turnout motor, and I've taken the cover off so you can see the light inside. It does come with a light, and there's 2, and I can see it, there's just 2 little tiny wires in there, a brown and a yellow, and they connect to this termination block, and that's what you power this light with, which I haven't powered it yet, but I will do. And then what you do is you just take this turnout top, and you'll see it's got a, I don't know if you can see that in the picture, it's got a little pin. All right, so when the turnout moves, I'll just do this. So when the turnout motor in this activates the turnout, let's go left or right, it moves this bar, okay? And that bar then turns that little pin, which in turn turns the switch lantern, okay? So that's how that works. So, but this is where it gets tricky, because this pin has to fit inside of that little tiny hole. All right. Now, over the years, LGB have made different turnout systems, and the single biggest change is the bar. So, if you can see it, I'm going to show. You can see that's slightly angled, or it's a straight bar, and it's got a little bit of curved piece built in with a loop, and the pin fits in that loop. But actually, there's a lot of LGB turnouts which come, and this is a throw bar with just the pin. Okay, and if you're buying these secondhand, or the turnouts secondhand like I do, you're going to find some that arrive broken, I should say. Not that one. Not that one. Okay. No. Well, maybe I've thrown it away, but some of my turnouts that I bought used came with one of these pins broken. And at the time, I didn't really think about it, because I thought, well, I'll just turn the motor around or use it on a left or right hand and just connect, because that pin is what throws the turnout. All right, so if one of those pins is missing and you're not using the lights, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to use these turnout indicators or these switch lanterns, then you need to make sure that you either have one of these styles with the loop built in, or if it's one of the, I suppose, the newer versions, I guess, that both pins exist on the turnout. Because if you purchase this kit and you've only got this style, then what you do is one pin is what throws the turnout, and the other pin is you take this little piece, pop it into the side there, and that is what, and that provides the little loop there you can just see on the corner. So my camera works terrible, I do apologize. You just see that little hole, and that is where the pin for this turnout would fit. So just bear that in mind. I've had to cannibalize about 2 or 3 old turnouts to get this thing to work. Oh, here we go. There you go, see this one? The pin's missing because it broke. I've got a pin that side, but I don't have a pin that side. So I can use this on a turnout, but if I want to use the turnout and the switch lantern, I can't do it. So what I've had to do is take an old, one of these old turnout motors, I forget the number of these, 1201, there you go, LGB 1201, and I've had to cannibalize the turnout to get this bar, because the other problem I found as well, it's not really switch lantern related, but you need to be aware of it. I've had a few of these where the screw mounts, the hole's been hollowed out. So the standard turnout screw, which bolts that to the railway tie or to the sleeper, that's hollowed out, so you can't tighten it up. And as a consequence, when the throw bar goes back and forth to turn the switch, this thing's slopping around. So I've had to cannibalize this one because one of those feet is, in fact, two of those feet are hollowed out, so I can't bolt it in. So I've utilized this turnout bar, or this throw bar rather, and I will also keep this because the motor inside is good, and the little motors on these can be, I think they're, I don't know, 15, 20 euros. So I'll just keep that as a spare, and the terminations as well. They're useful to have in the screws. So never throw anything away. But that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you that little tech thing, that little tech tip, I guess. In fact, if I show you here, you see one how it works. I'll just manually throw it. There you go. And that's how they work. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching.